Welcome back to Esoteric Wisdom, your go-to channel for deep dives into spiritual teachings and metaphysical concepts. Today, we're going to explore some profound ideas that have the power to transform how we see ourselves and the world around us. We'll journey through the concepts of truth absolute. Let's get started. The path from intellectual understanding to spiritual realization, and how we can apply these insights in our daily lives. Let's begin with the foundation of all metaphysical teachings, truth absolute. In metaphysics, truth absolute is considered the ultimate, unchanging reality. It's the essence of what is real, beyond all illusions, beyond all perceptions. Imagine it as the core of existence, the very substance that holds the universe together. But why is this concept so crucial? Because understanding truth absolute is the key to unraveling the illusions that cloud our perception. These illusions, what metaphysics often refers to as carnal illusions, are the beliefs and perceptions that keep us from seeing the world as it truly is. When we begin to understand this truth, we start to see through these illusions. We start to recognize that much of what we take for reality is, in fact, a veil obscuring the deeper, divine reality beneath. Now, understanding this truth isn't just an intellectual exercise. It's a profound spiritual realization that transforms our lives. It's what allows us to see ourselves as we truly are, divine beings, connected to the infinite. This is where the journey begins, but it's just the first step. How do we move from merely understanding this truth to living it? That's what we'll explore next. So, we've established that understanding truth absolute is essential, but knowing something intellectually and truly realizing it in your life are two different things. This brings us to the journey from intellectual perception to spiritual realization. Think of it like this: you can read about a place, see pictures, and even watch videos, but until you actually visit that place, your understanding remains incomplete. The same goes for spiritual teachings. We can learn about them, discuss them, even believe in them, but until we've experienced them on a deep, personal level, they remain just concepts. So how do we turn knowledge into wisdom? It starts with practice. Meditation is a powerful tool here. Through meditation, we move beyond the mind's chatter and connect with the deeper truths within us. Daily reflections, where we take time to contemplate these truths and how they manifest in our lives, are also crucial. It's about integrating these teachings into our daily experiences, seeing every interaction, every challenge as an opportunity to live these truths. As we continue this practice, something remarkable happens. What was once just an intellectual understanding begins to permeate our being. We start to embody the truths we've learned, and they become part of who we are. This is the path to spiritual realization, and as we walk this path, we come closer to truly knowing ourselves, something that is at the heart of all spiritual practice. One of the most ancient and powerful teachings in metaphysics is the directive to know thyself. But what does it really mean to know oneself? It's more than just understanding our likes, dislikes, strengths, and weaknesses. It's about recognizing the divine essence within us. It's about understanding that we are not just these bodies, these thoughts, these emotions. We are divine beings, manifestations of the infinite. Knowing oneself at this level is not something that happens overnight. It's a journey of self-discovery that requires deep reflection, honesty, and courage. We have to be willing to look beyond the surface, to question the stories we tell ourselves, and to dive into the depths of our being. And what we find there is something incredible: the realization that we are much more than we've ever imagined. This realization is transformative. It changes how we see ourselves, how we see others, and how we interact with the world. We start to live from a place of deep inner knowing, rather than from the limited perspectives that society often imposes on us. And as we deepen this self-knowledge, we naturally develop something else that is crucial on the spiritual path: faith. Faith is often misunderstood. It's not about blind belief or wishful thinking. In metaphysical practice, faith is a powerful force that bridges the gap between what we intellectually know and what we spiritually realize. It's the energy that propels us forward on our spiritual journey, even when the path ahead is unclear. But faith isn't something we can just conjure up. It's a gift that comes from our connection to the divine. It's something that we cultivate through practice, through devotion, and through our willingness to trust in something greater than ourselves. As we deepen our faith, we begin to see the truths we've learned come to life in our experiences. This is where metaphysical practices like prayer become incredibly powerful. Faith transforms our prayers from mere words into living, breathing affirmations of truth. It's what allows us to stand firm in the face of challenges, to trust that everything is unfolding as it should, and to know that we are always supported by the divine. But how do we strengthen our faith? One way is through consistent practice. Through prayer, meditation, and living our truths every day. Another is through reflection, taking time to look back on our lives and recognize the moments when faith has carried us through. As our faith grows, so too does our ability to connect with the divine in profound and transformative ways. Let's talk about prayer, a cornerstone of metaphysical practice. But in metaphysics, prayer isn't just about asking for things. It's a tool for spiritual transformation, a way to align our minds with the divine and to bring about deep, lasting change in our lives. Metaphysical prayer involves two key components: denials and affirmations. Denials are about rejecting the false beliefs and illusions that cloud our minds. They're about clearing out the mental clutter so that we can see the truth more clearly. Affirmations, on the other hand, are about asserting the truth of our divine nature. They're about planting seeds of truth in the fertile soil of our minds, where they can take root and grow. When we pray in this way, we're not just speaking words, we're engaging in a powerful act of creation. We're reshaping our inner world, transforming our thoughts, and aligning ourselves with the divine. This kind of prayer doesn't just change our minds, it changes our lives. And as we continue to use prayer as a tool for transformation, we begin to see the world in a new light. We start to break free from the illusions that have held us back and to see the truth of who we really are. This brings us to an important concept in metaphysics, the illusion of carnality, and how we can break free from it. In metaphysical teachings, the concept of carnality refers to the illusions that keep us bound to a limited perception of reality, what is often called the Adam dream. This dream represents the false beliefs, the fears, the limitations that we've come to accept as reality, but which are, in truth, nothing more than illusions. Breaking free from the Adam dream is essential for spiritual awakening. It's about recognizing these illusions for what they are: temporary, fleeting, and ultimately unreal. It's about realizing that the true reality lies beyond these surface-level perceptions. This awakening process can be challenging. It requires us to question everything we've been taught, to let go of long-held beliefs, and to step into the unknown. But it's also incredibly liberating. As we begin to see through the illusions, we start to experience life in a new way. We start to perceive the divine reality that underlies everything, the reality that is unchanging, eternal, and true. This process of awakening is what leads us to the next stage of our journey, moving beyond the surface illusions to discover the divine reality that lies beneath. As we continue on our journey, we begin to see that the world we experience with our senses is just the surface. Beneath this surface lies a deeper divine reality, a reality that is always present, even when we're not aware of it. But how do we move beyond these surface illusions? It starts with a shift in perception. We begin to see the world not just as a collection of objects and events, but as a living, breathing manifestation of the divine. Every person, every situation, every moment becomes an opportunity to experience the divine presence. This shift in perception doesn't happen overnight. It's something we cultivate through practice, through mindfulness, and through a deep desire to see the truth. As we continue to look beyond the surface, we begin to experience life in a whole new way. We start to live from a place of deep connection to the divine, and this connection brings us a sense of peace and rest, even in the midst of life's challenges. This brings us to the concept of resting in action. Resting in action. At first, it sounds like a contradiction, but in metaphysics, it's a profound truth that reveals how we can find peace and serenity, even in the midst of life's constant activity. The idea is that just as God is ever active yet eternally at rest, we too can learn to find stillness within motion. This isn't about withdrawing from life or avoiding action. Instead, it's about aligning our actions with the divine rhythm of the universe. When we do this, we find that we can be fully engaged in life's activities while remaining centered, calm, and at peace. This state of resting in action comes from understanding that true peace isn't found in inactivity, but in being fully present and connected to the divine in everything we do. It's about trusting that no matter what is happening around us, we are always supported by the divine presence. And as we cultivate this understanding, we begin to see that this divine presence is not just around us, but within us and in everything we experience. Realizing the omnipresent divine is one of the most transformative experiences on the spiritual path. It's the understanding that the divine presence is not something separate from us. It's in everything, everywhere, all the time. When we truly realize this one presence, it changes how we experience life. We begin to see the divine in every person we meet, in every situation we encounter, in every moment of our day. This realization brings a sense of peace, of connection, and of love that permeates every aspect of our lives. But how do we cultivate this awareness? It starts with mindfulness, being fully present in each moment and looking for the divine in the ordinary. It's also about gratitude, recognizing the divine blessings in our lives and giving thanks for them. And as we deepen our connection to this one presence, we open ourselves to the abundant bounty of the spiritual universe. As we conclude our journey today, let's talk about the concept of divine abundance, the bounty that flows from recognizing the omnipresent divine in our lives. The spiritual universe is overflowing with abundance, abundance, with resources, love, wisdom, and opportunities beyond our imagination. But tapping into this abundance isn't just about wishing for more. It's about aligning ourselves with the flow of divine energy. It's about recognizing that we are worthy of receiving this bounty and that the universe is constantly providing for us in ways both seen and unseen. One of the most powerful ways to align with divine abundance is through gratitude. When we take the time to acknowledge the blessings in our lives, we open ourselves up to receiving even more. Another way is through affirmations, regularly reminding ourselves of our connection to the infinite source of all good. By practicing these simple but profound steps, we can tap into the bounty of the spiritual universe and experience a life of abundance in every sense of the word. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the transformative teachings of metaphysics. Today, we've explored concepts that can truly change our lives, from understanding the truth absolute to tapping into divine abundance. As you reflect on these ideas, I encourage you to start incorporating them into your daily practice. Remember, this journey is about more than just knowledge. It's about realization, transformation, and living in alignment with the divine. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Until next time, stay enlightened.